Today, I'm going to show you how to fix a sagging door for less than 10 cents. Now, this is a really common problem. If you're a homeowner, even if you're a renter, you're going to find that there's going to be a time where you have a door that's kind of sagging and grinding against the door frame. And we have a door just like that in our house. In fact, when you get up at night to go to the bathroom, it announces to everybody that you've left the room because there's this great as the door opens. So we're going to show you how to fix that and get that into place. You're going to need to get together a few basic hand tools before we get started. You're going to need a screwdriver with multiple bits in case you encounter different types of heads on your screws. You're going to need a hammer. You are going to need a set punch, and you're going to need a small knife. You're also going to need today's secret weapon, the toothpick, and you'll need several of these. And lastly, if you want to make a little bit of an extra investment in the repair, you may want to get some small screws to replace the ones that you're taking out. I've got some 1-inch number 8 screws here that I'm using, and you can use whatever you want. Let's get to the repair. You can see here that this is where the door is rubbing against the frame, and so that's where you're getting the noise from, and that's where you're getting the door catching. Now, as you look at the door here from the end, you can see that it's loose and it's wobbling a bit, and that's what's causing the door to kind of sag and rub against the door frame. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to remove the screws from the door hinge so that you can get at the door behind it. I'm just using my screwdriver. Now you will notice this one is a Phillips and these two here are Robertsons, so this is where we tried an earlier repair by just using a longer screw, and we're using a deck screw, which didn't quite work out. Now that we've got our screws out, we'll flip the hinge away, and you can see here that these holes have been kind of worn out a little bit so that the threads from the screws are not really holding in place. So we're just going to clean this up a little bit, and then we're going to start our repair. So first thing you're going to need to do is get your toothpicks. Start stuffing the toothpicks into the holes. I like the ones with the tapered ends because that way you can kind of fit a few more into that space. And once you've got the toothpicks in place, you're going to break them off, and then you can flip them around and use the other side to kind of wedge in beside the other screws. And then you're going to take your hammer and just bang them in. Once you've got them in there as tightly as you can get them, I also like to take my nail punch and just see if I can set them in a little bit deeper and a little bit stronger. Now you'll notice there's a few little bits up here, and we're just going to cut those off using the X-Acto knife. Now we're going to fold the hinge back into place, and we're going to lift up the door so that the hinge is matching right up with where it should go, and then we're going to put in the screws. So we'll start at the bottom here and work our way up to the top, putting in the new screws. Like I said, I decided to use new screws because I had mismatching ones and I wanted them all to match, but you can just use the old screws and that will save you money. Once we've got the screws in place, the door now closes smoothly. Today I'm going to show you how to fix a sagging door for less than 10 cents. You're going to need a few basic hand tools to fix this. Now you're gonna nude. I hope not. You're going to need a screwdriver with multiple head. A few basic hand. And you're going to need an X-Acto blade. And a small knife is going to come in handy. And if you found today's video helpful, then you're going to like the one that YouTube has picked for you over here.